Hey everyone, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com, and picture this. You finally made it to Universal's newest park, Epic Universe, but your favorite ride is closed, your phone is at 2%, and you're absolutely soaked from a surprise storm. Well, if you want to avoid this scenario, keep watching. 2026 has introduced full park-to-park access for multi-day tickets, changes when it comes to park hours, changes when it comes to early park admission, and we're still seeing those changes happen pretty frequently. So you don't want to show up to Epic Universe unprepared, so in today's video, I'm about to break down exactly what you should not be doing as you're trying to plan your perfect Epic Universe day. As always, I'm very excited, so let's go get started. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, I'm about to break down what you should not be doing if you're trying to plan the perfect day at Epic Universe. And we're going to jump right in. We're going to start really with the booking aspect. And the first and most important one is going to be, don't just assume that your Signature Collection hotels comes with a free express pass at Epic Universe. If you're staying at one of the Signature Collection hotels like Portofino Bay, the Hard Rock, or Lowe's Royal Pacific Resort, you might know that you get free express passes with your stay. But what's important to note is they are free to park unlimited express passes, with the two parks being Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida. They do not include Epic Universe. So I don't want you making that mistake and wasting money when you specifically need it for that park. Over to tip number 2, what I would say is when it comes to the express pass, you definitely want to be sure to purchase your express pass for Epic in advance, as we did see the express passes, especially this last spring break, sell out for almost every single day of spring break. And it's crazy when you start to look at the prices, but that's just what we saw. And that's the same thing when it comes to the park tickets. We definitely saw that the park tickets at Epic were selling out. So if you are planning to visit, let's say during the summer when you know that the parks are going to be busy, or especially around 4th of July, I would absolutely buy your park tickets in advance. And on top of that, what I would say right now at the time of the recording of this video anyway, Universal just dropped a crazy deal, which is you buy 3 days, you get 2 days free. So they're definitely sort of trying to keep up with what's going on, I would say, with the economy, with oil prices, all that bad stuff that we are hearing on the news. What they're doing is they're at least giving us some great deals to say, hey, if you buy a 3-day ticket, you're going to get 5 days for that price. So it definitely pays to buy your tickets early. And I've said this on my channel before, if you purchase your tickets from a company like us over at the Park Prodigy, because we are a travel agency, if Universal does release a better deal in the future, we can always move you over to that deal and take advantage of it. So there's really no benefit to waiting to purchase your tickets, in my opinion. So just be sure to go check out theparkprodigy.com for those discount tickets. Over to the next mistake, and that would be underestimating the distance between the parks. So of course, Epic Universe is the newest park, but it actually is located on its own campus. It's not part of the original Universal Orlando campus. So if you're planning to purchase a park-to-park ticket and kind of hop between the parks and really move between the parks, and you need to be mindful of how long it's going to take you to get over to Epic Universe, or vice versa, to get from Epic over to the original parks, or really over to whichever hotel you're staying at. And so what I would say is, if you're walking from Islands of Adventure or Universal Studios Florida, even the walk over to the City Walk hub where you're going to get the shuttle conservatively can take you, I would say, 15 to 20 minutes, especially depending on which part of that park you're located in. To get from the back of the park over to the front entrance of City Walk easily can take you 20 minutes. If you're a slow walker, it could take you longer than that. And then you have to take into account, you have to wait for your bus, and you have to travel over to Epic, which I would say conservatively is about a 15 to 20 minute bus ride. So you could see this could easily be a 45 to 60 minute swing to go from one park to the other. And if you're a Universal Orlando vet and this might be your first trip to Epic, you already know that to go from Islands of Adventure to Universal Studios Florida is pretty easy. It's about a 10 to 15 minute walk depending on where you are within the park, or if you have that park to park ticket, you're taking the Hogwarts Express as well. Okay, over to the next mistake that you might make, and I would say don't underestimate the number of days that you need. So many visitors try to cram Epic Universe into one single day, but the problem here that you might have seen online is because of some of the inconsistency, let's say with the rides, or just how popular this park has been, it can be frustrating when you're trying to do that. Because when you start to look at the average wait times, if you just so happen to visit on a day that one of the main rides goes down, that can completely inflate the wait times of all the other rides, and it makes it really difficult to get all 11 rides completed plus the 2 shows and have enough time to do maybe power-up bands or the interactive wands. So what I would say here is I've done an analysis where I've said, okay, if you're really trying to get everything done at Epic Universe within one day, you might want to look at the Universal Express Pass, specifically for Epic Universe. But if you purchase a one-day Express Pass for Epic Universe, I would say on average you easily can be spending anywhere between $200 to $300 per person for the Express Pass for that one day. So even if you're only going to Epic Universe for 2 days, what I did was I did the math, and if you purchase 2 single-day tickets for Epic Universe, it could still possibly be cheaper than a one-day ticket plus a one-day Express Pass to Epic, which sounds crazy, but that's just what the math tells you depending on the day that you're visiting. Now, of course, that has to bring me to my next point, and if you might have visited Universal Orlando last year, but you're coming back in 2026, there is a major change that you need to know about, and that is going to be that you have the capabilities to go park to park into Epic Universe if you purchase a 3-day or longer ticket. And this is why I'm creating this video, because there are a lot of moving parts. So if you're only looking to go to Epic Universe for one day, you're going to go with a one-day Epic Universe ticket. However, if you're visiting the Universal Orlando parks for multiple days, you do need to take a look and figure out what is the right fit ticket for you. 2-day tickets, the way they work is it's only going to include plus 1 day at Epic Universe. So it would be 1 day Universal Orlando base plus 1 day at Epic. But like I said, anything 3 days or more at this point, you have the option to go park to park, which means you could do Islands of Adventure in the morning and then go over to Epic Universe at night. Now, this definitely brings me into my next tip and trick to be mindful of, and that is the Universal Orlando park hours, because we've seen the park hours change a couple times already in 2026. And why this matters as you get closer to your trip, especially 30 days or less, you want to keep an eye on the park hours for your vacation. And this is important for a couple different reasons. If you have base tickets, you might want to plan your day around the night that Epic Universe is going to be open the latest. If you have park to park tickets, of course, just like it sounds, if you're trying to get the most out of your ticket, you might want to plan it and start your day at the park that opens the earliest and close the day at the park that is open the latest. So of course, the park hours changing is going to have an impact on your vacation at home. And you'll see there's really not one size fits all for Universal Orlando. Your family might have a completely different goal than another family across the street. And that's really why all the moving parts matter, because we're trying to help you figure out what works best for you. And when it comes to, hey, do you want to do park open to park close, or you want to do afternoon breaks back at the pool, the hotel you choose now, specifically when it comes to Epic Universe, is another important point. We've spoken about the distance to Epic. So picking the right hotel in 2026 is important because there are a few hotels that are closer to Epic Universe than some of the others, and 2 of them in specific. So the first is going to be Helios Grand Hotel. Actually has a dedicated entrance to Epic Universe that you can pretty much walk right into Celestial Park, which is something we've never seen before. But there's also a prime value resort now, which is Universal Stella Nova Resort, which has a dedicated walking path over to Epic Universe. So understanding the hotels and the moving parts is definitely an important aspect of a Universal vacation. Also, if you're planning to take advantage of early park admission, we have seen 3 changes to early park admission already in 2026, and at the time of the recording in this video, it is May 8th, 2026. And so Universal, what they recently did is they've actually taken away the exact rides that they're saying are open for early park admission, specifically at Epic Universe, and they're giving us the worlds that are open at Epic Universe. And one of the changes that they also made recently was they added back Celestial Park to the early park admission sort of options. And so this is really the 3rd major change, like I said. And so you have to be mindful of that, and you have to sort of keep an eye on the early park admission hours, the early park admission rides or lands really that are going to be open as you're getting closer to your trip. And again, that 30-day mark is really going to be sort of your sweet spot where things should kind of be set in stone and you can really start to plan your days at Epic. And if you are in the process of planning your Universal Orlando vacation and you do need a tool that helps you plan your days, we actually have a free tool over at the Park Prodigy. You can create one day over at Epic Universe absolutely free. And of course, I will leave a link to that tool in the show notes. All right, but back over to early park admission. When it comes to tackling sort of this aspect of your day and getting the most out of it, if you've been watching my channel, you already know that what I typically recommend is if you are huge Harry Potter fans, I see the benefit and I definitely recommend to go and get on Battle at the Ministry as early in the morning as possible. And my tip is you show up an hour before early park admission starts, and this should be the first ride that you go to in your top priority. Now, what I would say is on the flip side of this, if Harry Potter is not a priority and you're kind of, if I get on it, great. If I don't get on it, not a big deal. What I would do is I would go over and I would start your day at How to Train Your Dragon Isla Burke. What I would say is I would make that the top priority. I would do the Toothless meet and greet. Then I would go and I would get Hiccups Wing Gliders out of the way. And then I would do Dragon Racers Rally. Now, the same tip here is if you show up an hour early and you are some of the first people in Isla Burke, you really should be able to get the Toothless meet and greet out of the way within the first 15 to 20 minutes. And then you pretty much moving along. And I really feel like you can get those 3 really attractions, quote unquote, out of the way within the first hour to hour and a half. Over to the next tip that you do need to know about, I definitely would not hit Super Nintendo World during early park admission. Unless you have young kids and like this is your main goal is just hit Super Nintendo World, the wait time data definitely backs up hitting this world at night. And I also just feel like it's a completely better vibe at night. It really comes to life and something that I think you'll all really enjoy. Okay, but over to the next tip and trick, and that is, what do you do if you want to get to Epic Universe really early, but you don't have early park admission? Well, now that Celestial Park is part of early park admission, there's really one world that's going to be your top priority, and that is I would start your day at Dark Universe. I would go over and hit Curse of the Werewolf first, then I would go and hit Monster Unchained second. And of course, the other wrench that we have to throw into everyone's plan is if you have the Universal Express Pass, what do you do in that scenario? Well, because the Universal Express Pass is so much money, it really does do what it's supposed to do, which is it helps you skip the lines. You really will not wait a long time, or you shouldn't wait a long time with the Express Pass. So because of that, you really have a couple options. The first is you could sleep in. You can roll into the parks a little bit later and still get a ton done with the Express Pass. The second is if you want a rope drop, if you want to take advantage of early park admission, what I would do is definitely I would focus on the Toothless meet and greet, and then I would go and I would hit Dragon Racers Rally because it's actually the only ride at Epic Universe that does not take the Universal Express Pass. Over to the next tip and trick is if you don't have the Express Pass and you're still trying to save some time and really kind of hack the system and skip some of the lines, take a look at the single rider line. Now, I've spoken about this. This is perfect for those families who have your sort of those kids at mixed ages. Some kids are old enough, some kids are not old enough to go on the thrill rides. Take advantage of the single rider lines when you can. Your group will be split up, but it could help you save time on some of those longer lines. The real hack here is look for rides that have 4 people to a row. So think Monsters Unchained, Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. Those are all rides where you could potentially save time by using the single rider line. And another one that I've been talking about recently when it comes to the Universal Express Pass is if you look at the sort of price of the Express Pass and you want to know what? No, that doesn't work for us. We're just going to make the most of our day. As you get down to Orlando, a lot of folks sort of kind of make that last minute change. If you see that the Universal Express Pass is sold out in advance on the website, it doesn't hurt to ask once you get down to Orlando. You never know. I personally have been lucky, or I have seen the Express Pass become available even when they've shown that it is sold out. And there's one more change that Universal recently made. If you've been watching my channel, you might know about it, and that is called the Universal Express Now. This is Universal's new sort of a la carte option that might pop up in the Universal app, and it might allow you to skip one attraction at a time. Now, from what we have seen, it's only really been running at Epic Universe, so if you're visiting that park, might be the perfect park for you. We've seen it pop up for Yoshi's Adventure and then also Hiccup's Wing Gliders, but on the downside, the thing that I don't like about this is that it's not guaranteed. You really don't know if you're going to be able to purchase an Express Pass now, so from a planning standpoint, you kind of just keep it in your back pocket. All right, keeping it moving, and some other things that you definitely should not do when you're visiting Epic Universe, and this is actually one that I did get a lot of heat for recently for even including it in my video, but I would make sure that you don't ignore how hot this park can be, and you need to stay hydrated at Epic Universe. There's still a huge shade crisis going on at this park, and it can get really hot, especially in the afternoon. Between 3 to 5 o'clock is typically the hottest time of the day, and I have to thank my wife for kind of drilling that into my head, because for some reason growing up in New York, I just had it in my mind that like, because it was noon, like the middle of the day, that's the hottest point of the day. That is not true. The late afternoon is typically the hottest time of the day, so you need to stay hydrated and be mindful of the hot Florida sun. Another important one is don't kind of underestimate how much you're going to walk at Epic Universe. So just because there's really Celestial Park connecting 4 worlds, you might think, oh, it's going to be an easy day. But not only is there going to be a lot of walking, there's a ton of stairs and steps, which was something I did not expect, especially in Super Nintendo World. The world is like the Stairmaster. If you're trying to lose weight, you're going to love Epic Universe because you're going to walk so many steps, and even when you think you're on like a ride, you get to a ride like Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, and there's more steps inside the ride. It makes absolutely no sense. It does make sense, but you get what I'm saying. You're not going to be expecting it, but be prepared for it. Another one that really is going to impact your trip now, that especially we're throwing in the Universal Express Now. If you're trying to get the Express Now, you're going to be on the Universal Orlando app constantly throughout the day. If your kids have the power-up bands or the interactive wands for Harry Potter, you're going to want to link them to the Universal Orlando app. You're going to be on your phone all day. One of the things you have to be mindful of is bring a backup battery. If you forget one and you get down to Universal, what they have is called the fuel rods, which are actually the backup batteries that you could purchase. And what you'll be able to do is as they run out throughout the day, you pretty much can refill them for, I believe it's like $3 at this point in time, but it definitely can be a lifesaver when your phone is completely dead. And another another one that I learned on my most recent visit to Epic Universe, and that is plan your meals strategically. So what happens is some of the quote unquote quick service restaurants at this point have become so popular, such as Pizza Moon, that for regular lunch hours, like 12 to 2 o'clock, it's slammed. I mean, slammed like a line out the door. I've also seen this at the Toadstool Cafe. So kind of the strategic plan here is to try to eat avoid those peak times. So I would say avoid 12 to 2 for lunch, avoid 5 to 7 for dinner. If you don't mind waiting in a line, no problem, but you definitely have to be prepared that it might add a little bit time onto your meal. Okay, another one that I definitely don't want to see you do, or a mistake that you might make, is don't skip the shows. So the Untrainable Dragon show, in my opinion, is the second best show in all of Universal Orlando. Le Cirque Arcanus, if you're a Harry Potter fan, I definitely think that you're going to enjoy it. It has some really, really cool sort of magician tricks, or magic tricks is the best way to put it, but it has some really cool tricks. That's the best way to put that. I think with the right plan, it's definitely doable to do all 11 rides and the 2 shows, especially if you really are taking advantage of early park admission. But they can also be great breaks for your day. And again, like we discussed, mid-afternoon, 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock is really when it's going to be the hottest. If you can plan to at least one of the shows around that point in time. And of course, with the summer coming up, we're really hopeful that Universal will keep Epic Universe open until at least 10 o'clock at night. And because of that, what I would say is don't leave before it gets dark. Epic Universe is unlike any park we have when it comes to lighting. The only park I feel like gives it a sort of a run is Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom, if you've been to Disney, Main Street USA at night is magical. They get away with it because it really does live up to the hype. But Epic Universe also, there's something just very charming, and like you kind of, it's just like that summer feel. Like if you're in Epic Universe, especially coming up in the summer and it's 9, 10 o'clock at night, you're grabbing an ice cream with your family, the lights, you're gonna feel like a kid at a carnival with how many amazing lights there are in this park. And there's also a nighttime fountain show that you can enjoy, sort of a kiss goodnight, that you definitely don't want to miss. But that is it, everyone. Those are some of the things that you cannot do as you're planning your Epic Universe trip. Some of the mistakes that you definitely want to avoid. And like I said a couple times in this video, if you are in the process of planning a Universal Orlando trip and you do need a little additional help, just be sure to go check us out over at the Park Prodigy. We are authorized, you preferred Universal Orlando travel agents that can help you plan an amazing family vacation. And as a thank you for sticking around all the way till the end of this video, I do have a special promo code you can go use on our website to save an extra $50 off your next family vacation, and that promo code is going to be MAGIC50. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you again so much for checking out this video, and until next time, I will talk to you soon.